Imagine a retired millionaire earning $380,000 was forced to return to work. So, watch the full video to learn why he was forced to get back to work. Last year, after selling a chunk of his stock and bond portfolio to purchase a house in cash, Sam Dogen found himself with too little passive income to support his family's budget. The 34-year-old millionaire founder of Financial Samurai had been retired with a $3 million net worth since 2012, but now that both of his kids would soon attend school full-time, he decided to head back to work. His financial guru says his investments will generate just $230,000 before tax, while his annual expenses are projected to top $288,000 in 2024. To net that sum, Dogen estimated he would have to earn approximately $420,000 a year before taxes were taken out. The budget is based on my ideal lifestyle for a family of 4 in a big city, he wrote. Of course, there are areas to cut, but overall, it is a realistic and comfortable lifestyle. Dogen's annual budget includes $80,400 for private grade school tuition for his 2 kids, as well as $24,000 for healthcare costs. He estimates food expenses will top $26,000 this year, while housing expenses, including property taxes, maintenance, and insurance, are estimated at a whopping $68,400. The 47-year-old millionaire founder of Financial Samurai had been retired since 2012, but now that both of his kids would soon be attending school full-time, he decided to head back to work. At age 34, his portfolio and real estate investments were generating about $80,000 a year, enough for him and his wife to live on in perpetuity. So, he took his severance and left. His wife did the same in 2015. Well, not W-2 income anyway. As the couple's plans changed, the $80,000 a year they thought would last them for life needed to be bumped up. In 2017, the pair welcomed their first child, followed by another in 2019. Over the years, Dogen built his passive income streams to about $380,000 annually, $288,000 net of taxes. That was enough to cover the family budget while living in San Francisco, until now. In a recent post on his website, Dogen, now 46, detailed his choice to sell a portion of his stock and bond holdings to buy a multi-million-dollar house in cash. By swapping income-producing assets for a house, I have a lot more dead money now, Dogen says. That means his passive income streams no longer cover his family budget. So back to work it is. It's worth noting that not everyone can up and quit a job they don't like without something else lined up. Dogen would be the first to acknowledge that he's in a unique situation financially. By last year, his passive income portfolio, which includes stocks, bonds, and real estate investments, among others, was bringing in about $380,000 a year. After selling income-producing investments to buy his dream home, Dogen estimates he had about a $100,000 hole in his budget to cover. I was feeling pretty anxious about it, Dogen says, but a few things happened to alleviate the pressure. Chiefly, he found renters for his previous home, which he had been planning to sell, who pay roughly $9,000 a month in rent. That shored up a huge hole in my passive income, Dogen says. He also finished writing and editing his second book, a feat that not only comes with an installment of his book deal money, but also the promise of passive income in the future. Plus, he received a 6-figure cash distribution from one of his real estate investments. That won't produce passive income unless Dogen reinvests it, but it gave him the cash cushion to paper over some short-term cracks in his finances. Before getting into it, please subscribe for more videos. What Dogen's looking for next. So why didn't things work out for Dogen? One of the major gripes was managerial style. One problem was too many meetings. If you're a writer, when you're in meetings, you're not working, he says. And it was really hard for me to adapt to too much management. Dogen, who runs a successful financial blog, describes getting rounds and rounds of edits on everything he submitted. It was demoralizing, he says. Plus, he says, with his younger child slated to start full-time school in the fall, it was tougher than he expected being away from the kids. Because I've been a stay-at-home dad since they both were born, I thought I would find it easier to break away and go to the office and not spend time with them, because I need that reprieve, something different to do, he says. It was the exact opposite. Dogen plans to re-enter the workforce once both his kids are in school full-time this fall. Here are 3 things he plans to do when searching for his next gig. 1. Set boundaries. While it's difficult to know how a manager operates before you start working at a company, you can negotiate some ground rules before accepting an offer, Dogen says. I've learned that I'm going to set clear boundaries and expectations up front before I take that offer, and just say like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. These are my days, it's 20 hours. He says, maybe I'll do time limits for work, or I'll do it by project base. 2. Find the right company culture. In hindsight, Dogen realizes that returning to work at a seed stage startup was likely biting off more than he was willing to chew. It means total hectic chaos, he says. Dogen says he may look for his next gig at a later stage startup or even a mature company, even if the latter doesn't feel trendy among the San Francisco tech crowd. Everyone makes fun of people who work at big-name tech companies because they only work 20 or 30 hours and get paid tons of money, Dogen says. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me. 3. Prioritize his kids. Still, locking down a high-paying tech job wouldn't solve the problem of being away from his kids. To that end, Dogen is considering whether money is the most important factor in his next gig. I think maybe a more fulfilling job role is completely out of startup, tech, and AI, but instead in education, specifically an educational role where I'm working at my children's school, Dogen says. That way I can be part of a community and get paid, and see my children during the day every once in a while. He thinks he could collect a little more than $100,000 in annual rent for a net profit of about $40,000, money he can use to help build his investments back up. The same goes for an eventual sale. In the meantime, Dogen says he's excited to put his efforts into something else now that he and his wife are scaling back their hours, as it were, being full-time parents. The more you invest in something, like being a stay-at-home parent, the more you have to fill this void of emptiness once they go to school full-time, he says. That's it for today. If you like the video, please subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.